Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible story of the German 10 Pfennig garment stamp of 1950. Archival footage of divided Germany. Maps showing the Allied sectors, the birth of the Federal Republic of Germany, West, and the German Democratic Republic, East. Images of the early Deutsche Post. To understand this stamp, we have to go back to 1949. World War II is over, but Germany is shattered, both physically and politically. The country is now split into two, the Democratic Federal Republic of Germany in the west, and the Communist German Democratic Republic in the east, and with two new countries, you need two new postal services. In West Germany, the Deutsche Bundespost was established. They needed new stamps, new symbols, for a new beginning. Their first definitive series, launched in 1950, was called the Deutsche Mark issue. It featured a simple, powerful design, a woman representing the Republic, her head held high, looking towards a hopeful future. High-resolution, clean images of the correct 10 Pfennig stamp. On-screen graphics circle and highlight key features. Let's look at the stamp as it was supposed to be printed. The 10 Pfennig value, printed in a deep carmine rose or pink color. Here is the woman, the personification of the new republic. She's wearing a simple, elegant dress. You can clearly see the lines of the fabric, the folds, the sleeve. The background is clean. The text is clear, Deutsche Bundespost, the denomination, and Bundesdruckerei, indicating it was printed by the Federal Printing Office. This was the workhorse stamp. Millions and millions were printed. It was utterly common. If you had family in West Germany in the 1950s, you almost certainly have a few of these in an old box somewhere. They are worth, well, about 10 Pfennig. Side-by-side comparison, the normal stamp on the left, the garment error on the right. A dramatic reveal moment. Then, extreme close-ups of the error area, and here it is. The star of our show. The 10 Pfennig garment error. Look closely at the area on her chest and shoulder. On the normal stamp, it's the smooth fabric of her dress. But on this stamp, do you see those vertical, scratchy, almost hatching lines? That's the error. It wasn't supposed to be there. So, what is it? This wasn't an error in the stamp design itself. It was a flaw in the production process. The plates used to print these stamps were made of steel. Over time, with millions of impressions, these plates can wear down or get damaged. It's believed that a fine, hairline crack or an area of corrosion developed on the printing plate for this specific stamp. When the plate was inked, ink settled into this tiny crack. And when the paper was pressed against it, that ink transferred, creating this distinctive, unwanted pattern that looks, well, it looks like she's wearing a coarse, burlap-like garment over her dress. Reenactment style footage of someone going through a pile of letters or a stamp. Germany with a pin in the Stuttgart/Reutlingen area. Now, imagine it's 1950. You're a postal clerk, or just someone licking stamps onto envelopes. Are you going to notice a few tiny, faint lines on a stamp you see hundreds of times a day? Probably not. For months, these error stamps slipped through the system completely unnoticed. They were used for postage, sent all over the country and the world, completely anonymous. The first discoveries were made in the Reutlingen and Stuttgart areas of southwest Germany, starting around late 1950 and into 1951. Sharp-eyed collectors or postal workers began to notice the oddity. The news spread like wildfire in the philatelic community. Suddenly, everyone was checking their 10 Pfennig stamps. But by then, it was too late. The flawed printing plate had been identified and replaced. The window of opportunity was closed. It's estimated that only between 20,000 to 40,000 of these error stamps ever existed. And remember, most of them were used for postage, licked, postmarked, and thrown away with the envelope. The number of pristine, unused garment errors in existence today is incredibly small, perhaps only a few thousand. On one side, a graphic showing the price of bread in 1950 Germany, a few Pfennig. On the other, images of auction hammers falling, and screenshots from major auction house websites, like Heinrich Kohler, Christoph Gartner, etc., showing realized prices. So, let's talk numbers. What is this little piece of flawed paper worth? The value is astronomical, especially when you consider its original purpose. For a used copy of the garment era, with a clear, light cancel, you're looking at a value of $2,000 to $4,000 USD. But the real prizes are the mint, never hinged copies. A superb, fresh copy with full original gum and brilliant color can easily fetch $15,000 to $25,000 USD** at auction. And for the very finest examples, with perfect centering and no flaws, the price can go even higher. Compare that to the correct version, which you can buy for less than $1. That's the power of a rare error. Host holds up a magnifying glass to a large screen displaying the stamp. On-screen arrows and labels point out key identifiers. A warning graphic appears when discussing fakes. The garment error only exists on the Carmine Rose 10 Pfennig stamp. Not the green, not the blue, not the brown. Only the pink one. The error only occurred on stamps printed from a specific position on the printing plate. It's most prominent and recognizable on stamps from sheet position 78B. Collectors look for this third, and most importantly, the pattern itself, ****. The lines are fine, vertical, and cover the area from her shoulder down across her chest. It should look like an addition to the design, not a smudge or a scratch. And a word of caution, because this stamp is so valuable, it is one of the most faked stamps in German philately. Forgers have tried to recreate the lines by scratching stamps or using chemicals. You found one, you must get it certified by a major expertising body like the Bund Philatelistischer Prüfer, BPP, in Germany. Their certificate is the only way to be sure. Slow, beautiful shots of the stamp from different angles. Music swells. Host summarizes, the 10 Pfennig garment error is more than just a valuable stamp. It's a time capsule. It's a relic from the very first days of a new Germany, a tiny witness to the immense effort of rebuilding a nation. Its value comes not from gold or jewels, but from a perfect storm of history, human error, and sheer rarity. It's a reminder that in the world of collecting, sometimes the most mundane objects, a postage stamp, a coin, a trading card, can become priceless treasures through a twist of fate. That it's a story of how, from the rubble of war and the chaos of a new beginning, a legend was printed by mistake. Before the Roman era, the area was inhabited by various Germanic tribes, Cherusci, Suebi, Franks, Saxons, etc. The Battle of the Teutoburg Forest, 9 AD, where Germanic chieftain Arminius annihilated 3 Roman legions, effectively halted Roman expansion east of the Rhine River, establishing a lasting cultural and political boundary. Following the collapse of the Western Roman Empire, the Frankish king Charlemagne was crowned Emperor of the Romans in 800 AD. After his death, his empire was divided, and the eastern part, East Francia, evolved into the Holy Roman Empire of the German nation. Contrary to a centralized state, the Holy Roman Empire was a patchwork of hundreds of smaller entities, kingdoms, principalities, duchies, free cities, and ecclesiastical states. The emperor was elected by the most powerful princes, prince-electors ***, which prevented the emergence of a strong, hereditary monarchy. This political fragmentation would define German politics for centuries. The new empire experienced rapid industrialization, becoming Europe's leading industrial power by the early 20th century. It saw massive scientific, technological, and cultural innovation. Under Kaiser Wilhelm II, who dismissed Bismarck in 1890, Germany pursued an aggressive foreign policy, Weltpolitik**, aimed at acquiring colonies and building a navy to rival Great Britain's. This system of interlocking alliances and escalating militarism led Europe to the brink of war. Triggered by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, Germany's strategic gamble, the Schlieffen Plan, failed, leading to a bloody, protracted stalemate on the Western Front. Exhausted by war and blockade, the German home front collapsed. In November 1918, a revolution broke out, the Kaiser abdicated, and a republic was proclaimed. Germany signed the armistice, ending the war. The Treaty of Versailles, 1919, imposed harsh reparations and the war guilt clause, creating a deep sense of resentment. The Nazis consolidated power through Gleichschaltung, coordination, bringing all aspects of life under party control. Homosexuals, and others deemed undesirable. Hitler's expansionist policies led to the invasion of Poland in September 1939, triggering World War II. After early blitzkrieg successes, the war turned with the invasion of the Soviet Union and the entry of the United States. During the war, the Nazi regime systematically organized the genocide of approximately 6 million Jews and millions of others in what is known as the Holocaust. This state-sponsored murder represents one of the darkest chapters in human history. The war ended in Europe with Germany's unconditional surrender on May 8, 1945. The country was in ruins, its cities bombed, its economy shattered, and its moral standing destroyed. Germany was divided into 4 occupation zones administered by the USA, UK, France, and the USSR. The process of denazification began. As tensions rose between the Western Allies and the Soviet Union, the 3 Western zones were merged to form the Federal Republic of Germany, FRG, or West Germany, in 1949, a capitalist democracy. The Soviet zone became the German Democratic Republic, GDR, or East Germany, the same year, a communist one-party state. The capital, Berlin, was also divided. To stop the mass exodus of its citizens to the west, the East German government built the Berlin Wall in 1961, becoming the most potent symbol of the Cold War. West Germany experienced an economic miracle, Wirtschaftswunder*, becoming a prosperous and stable central pillar of NATO and the European Economic Community, the forerunner of the EU. In 1989, peaceful protests in East Germany, combined with the reform policies of Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev, led to a crisis for the GDR. On November 9, 1989, the Berlin Wall was unexpectedly opened. The 2+4 treaty between the 2 German states and the 4 Allied powers paved the way for the official reunification on October 3, 1990. This day is now celebrated as German Unity Day. Integrating the bankrupt East German economy and society into the West has been a long and costly process, with social and economic disparities between Ossis, Easterners, and Wessis, Westerners, persisting for decades. Today, a reunified Germany is the largest and most powerful economy in Europe. It plays a central leadership role in the European Union and on the world stage, grappling with its past while shaping its future as a stable, democratic power.